Okay, today is February 17th, is that right? 18th. First question is division of fractions. It's always easier to multiply by the reciprocal. When you do that, you get 9 over 10 for an answer. Your second question is the multiplication of a mixed fraction by a whole number. When dealing with mixed fractions, it's easier to change them to improper. It's easier to think of a whole number as being over 1. When you multiply that out, you get 15 over 2, which is 7.5, or 7.5 if you wanted to change it back to decimals. Question number 3, division of a mixed fraction by a whole number. Same process, except the only difference is when you get to this stage, you're going to keep your fraction and multiply by the reciprocal, which will give you 3/10. Your next question, if I think about what is this, this is the exact same as taking away a positive 16. And for some people, it's important that they rewrite it like that because they like to keep the first integer, change it to addition, and use the opposite of the second, in which case you will end up with negative 26. Your next question is a BEDMAS using integers. The first thing says, what's negative 3 times negative 2, which is positive 6. They need to have that work shown there because, of course, you're simplifying one step at a time. And a positive 6 plus a negative 7 is a negative 1. Your sixth question says negative 10 plus negative 16, which is negative 26, divided by negative 2. 26 divided by 2 is 13, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So your answer is positive 13. Next question, negative 2x equals negative 12. You're going to divide both sides by negative 2 to isolate the variable. X is going to equal 6. Next question, you're going to add 3 to both sides to first get rid of your constant. A negative half of x equals negative 9. You're then going to multiply both sides by negative 2, and x will equal 18. And finally, the last one, there's one of two ways you can solve it. You can either solve it by attaching squares, putting 100 for the area of that square, putting 225 for the area of that square, and therefore putting 125 for the area of that square, and x would equal the square root of 125. Now you might also estimate that either using a calculator or your brain. Since the square root of 121 is 11, we can assume that the square root of 125 is slightly more than that. So a good guess would be 11.1, 11.2, 11.3. Somewhere in there would be a good estimation. 1 point for your work and 1 point for your answer.